June 25th, 1876. A date forever etched into history. George Armstrong Custer, the fabled long hair, led his 7th Cavalry down into the valley of the Little Bighorn and straight into a storm of bullets, arrows, and vengeance. By the setting sun, Custer and every man under his command lay dead. But what truly happened in those final, frantic hours? For over 100 years, the truth has been hidden, buried beneath military deceit, Hollywood fantasy, and the blood-soaked soil itself, until today. This is the story they never wanted told. It comes from the last surviving warrior who was there, who fought, who killed, and who held on to secrets so dangerous that the U.S. government tried to silence him for decades. This is the true account of Custer's last stand, raw, untamed, and spoken for the first time through the chilling recollections of the Lakota warrior who lived it. Rain in the face. He swore vengeance. He took scalps. And some believe he delivered the final blow to Custer himself. But what he confesses here will upend everything you thought you knew about the Old West's most infamous massacre. Stay with us, because history is about to be rewritten. This is the truth they couldn't bury. Rain in the Face, a renowned Hunkpapa Lakota Sioux warrior and leader, played a crucial role in the 1876 Battle of the Little Bighorn, where Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer and his 7th Cavalry met total destruction. Famous for his fearless valor in combat, Rain in the Face also carried a deep hatred for Custer, whom he blamed for the brutal deaths of his brother and sister in a prior conflict. Some records claim Rain in the Face was among those who attacked Custer's detachment and may have struck the killing blow. Yet historians remain divided, leaving the true circumstances of Custer's death clouded in uncertainty. After the battle, Rain in the Face eventually surrendered and endured imprisonment. Upon release, he became an outspoken advocate for Native rights and even a popular figure in Wild West shows, recounting his life as a warrior. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps our channel grow. Now, if you want the real story, I'll give it to you, straight from my own life. In my younger days, before these crutches were my legs, I was a dangerous man. My spirit is calm now, but back then, I lived for war and the chase. Women adored me. Men feared my name. Battle was my greatest hunger, more than food, more than rest. Soldiers trembled when they heard I was near, and the Reese and Crow scouts would wake feeling for their scalps when my name reached their ears. I was a storm in human form, and my reputation alone could make a warrior's blood run cold. Harry, knowing how warriors love to boast, broke in. "We believe you were fierce, Rain," said Harry. "But tell us, how did Tom Custer overpower you? If you were so mighty, how did a smaller man defeat you?" The question struck a nerve. Rain scowled, pride wounded. He was a towering figure, 5 feet 9 inches and nearly 200 pounds, while Captain Tom Custer was far smaller. After a long silence, Rain began his tale. To everyone's shock, he didn't stop there. He revealed in vivid detail his own first-hand story of the Custer massacre. His gestures painted the memory as if he were reliving that blood-soaked day. Decades of silence broken, Rain in the Face speaks at last. For years, government agents and army men tried to wrest the truth from Rain in the Face, but he kept silent. They used kindness, threats, even bribes, but nothing moved him. His legend as Custer's killer had grown so large that even the poet Longfellow wrote of him in verse. So when Rain finally broke his silence, the world listened in disbelief. I've recorded his words as interpreter McLaughlin translated them. 2 winters before the great fight, Gall and Sitting Bull camped at Standing Rock. All our people there stood against the government. We were Hunkpapa Sioux, bold and unyielding. The Yanktonais were tame, agency Indians begging for rations. Life was good in our warrior camp, dancing, racing horses, contests of skill. Game was plentiful. Our pony herd stretched across the plains. Young women liked me, but they teased me often. When my temper rose, I longed for war. One evening, a girl dared me to ride to Fort Lincoln and kill a white man. I warned her it was suicide. Soldiers everywhere, scouts watching. She mocked, "A true warrior doesn't fear. If you're weak, stay behind." I'll find a Sundance dancer with courage that sealed my fate. The girls laughed, but the young men stayed quiet. They knew my temper. I would have killed any who mocked me. I went back to my lodge, blackened my face, and took my weapons. Under night's cloak, I rode 45 miles north to Fort Lincoln. For 2 days, I waited for a soldier to strike. I could have slain a woman or a lumberman, but I wanted a soldier's buttons for that taunting girl. When I brought them back, she stitched them proudly into her shawl. Then at dawn, I saw the trader and horse doctor walking toward a spring. Yellowhair Custer and his men were returning, less than 100 yards away. I charged, shot the trader, and crushed the doctor's skull with my club. Arrows finished the rest. I was cutting buttons when Yellowhair heard the shots and wheeled around. No time for scalps. I jumped on my pony and dared them to follow. They chased me to the Cannonball River. That winter, I went to the Standing Rock Agency store. No rations for me. I had rejected the treaty. The one-armed storekeeper was there. I feared neither him nor his bald-headed soldiers. They ambushed me from behind, tied me, threw me into a wagon, and hauled me to Lincoln's guardhouse. No respect for a chief, only chains, a frozen cell, and a thin blanket. The bitter winter and the vow of revenge. The wind howled through the cracks all winter, burying me in snow. The cold gnawed my bones. Once Little Hair let me outside and the soldiers taunted me to run. I saw their trap. They wanted an excuse to shoot me in the back. I looked Little Hair in the eyes and vowed that if I escaped, I'd carve out his heart and eat it. They shackled me to a white prisoner. But one night we broke free. Bullets hissed as we fled along the Heart River's edge. My companions sawed through our irons, but they caught him by dawn. I vanished into the wild, though I knew the hunt would never end. When I rejoined Sitting Bull and Gall, even they feared harboring me. So I sent Little Hair a message, a buffalo hide painted with a bleeding heart, a reminder my promise stood. And when we met again, I kept my word. The truth behind Custer's last stand. That's enough of that part. Much of what I've told matches the Army's records, the killing of the sutler and Dr. Hunsinger. But we pressed Rain about Tom Custer's heart. McFadden slid a sketch of the charge toward him. "Did the battle look like this?" he asked. Rain burst into laughter. "Lies!" Soldiers didn't swing sabers. They fired rifles and pistols. They dismounted, every fourth man holding horses. We bound ourselves to our ponies, painted and naked, circling like a storm around them. This picture shows bows, but we wielded rifles. Their guns jammed, cartridges stuck. I saw many unfired on the ground. When their rifles failed, we smashed skulls with clubs, easy as butchering sheep. Some begged. We showed no mercy. White men's drawings always lie. Here, he flipped the paper, drawing an S shape. This is the Little Bighorn. Our camp curved along it like a bowstring. "How many lodges?" asked Harry. "Too many to count. 4,000 warriors, maybe 6. The lodges spread like wildfire on the prairie. Sitting Bull climbed a hill and made powerful medicine. He came back waving a sacred bundle, shouting the Great Spirit's words, 'Soldiers will come, but they will fall.' The next morning, scouts warned us. Sitting Bull ordered decoy lodges, empty tents to fool the Reese. Then he went off to pray, leaving Gall to command. Crazy Horse led the Cheyennes. Goose led the Bannocks. I was no chief, but my Hunkpapa fought like wolves. We knew the soldiers' horses were spent. Their scouts took the bait, thinking we were few. When they split their forces, we rejoiced. Gall struck from the north. Longhair's men climbed the ridges, and our warriors sealed their path of retreat. Their charge crumbled. They dismounted, clustering in confusion. We closed in, a tightening noose. Officers shouted orders, but dust hid all ranks. I never saw Longhair fall. The Rees sang their death song. They knew it was the end. We swept over them like a river bursting its banks. The fury of the battle and the blood oath fulfilled. We shot the horse holders first, then drove their mounts stampeding with our blankets. Our women caught the weary animals while we raged on. I sang my war song, the air thick with powder smoke, my mind gone to madness. When I tore their flag free, my pony collapsed beneath me. I cut it loose, sprang up, and crushed the flag bearer's skull. Running through the chaos with their banner in hand, I roared in triumph. a true warrior's glory. The fighters around me howled their praise as we surged forward again. Blood sprayed my face, hot and metallic. My rage deepened. I leapt onto another pony and plunged back into the slaughter, shooting, slashing, unrelenting. When that horse fell, I mounted another. Then I saw him, Little Hare. My vow burned bright in my chest. Protected by my weasel tail charm, I charged like a man possessed. Bodies fell around me. When our eyes locked, I laughed at his fear. His lips moved. Prayer or plea, I couldn't hear over the guns. One shot to his chest ended it. I don't remember dropping my gun. Jumping down, I tore out his heart, took a savage bite, and spat it in his dead face. Waving the bloodied trophy, I rode from the field. My vengeance was complete. Scalping was needless. My promise fulfilled. The aftermath in divided chiefs. As I rode away, our women moved among the wounded, finishing them, gathering spoils, cutting fingers for rings. They searched for Longhair's scalp, but never found it. His cropped hair and plain clothes hid him among the fallen. That night the camp feasted and danced in victory. Sitting Bull boasted, "My medicine made you brave." But Gaul replied, "We won while you chanted." Their rivalry split the tribe. Some followed one, some the other. Warriors like me followed neither. When scouts warned of coming artillery, we crossed north into safer lands. I stayed until Sitting Bull returned and peace followed. Now this story, never before told to white men, leaves my lips in peace. The truth is spoken. The unanswered questions and Rain's legacy. When Rain fell silent, I asked, "If you didn't kill Long Yellow Hair, then who did?" "No one knows," he said. "The battle was madness, like fighting in a storm." Mac asked why Custer wasn't scalped like the others. "Bravery doesn't save a man from scalping," Rain answered. "They searched, but maybe he lay buried under the dead." And when we mentioned Curly, the Crow scout who claimed to have escaped, Rain's disgust was clear. Curly lies. His horse failed, and he fled. A coward, not a warrior. The last living witness, now around 60 winters old, Rain stands as the final surviving leader from the Little Bighorn. He can sign his name in English, though he barely grasps its meaning. He understands much spoken English, yet his own words come haltingly, 30 at most, rough and hard to follow. True to his people's customs, Rain shows gratitude only for favors yet to come, never for those already done. His courage is unquestioned, his morality shaped by the warrior's code. But once he gives his word, he never breaks it. Though earning that promise takes immense patience. Even in age, his strength remains, a figure straight from legend. His redeeming virtue? When he vows, he keeps it. But to draw that vow is no easy task. This rare first-hand testimony casts new light on that fateful June day in 1876. Not the polished legend, but the unvarnished truth spoken by the last man alive who could tell it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch more stories like this one.